the critics and showed you can't keep a good man down under. Tristan Rogers investigated the smoothest operation in the hospital.
With Mel Gibson's Mad Max and Paul Hogan's Throw Another Shrimp on the Barbie. But one other penniless young hopeful from down under traveled 12,000 miles to find the American dream and spearhead the Aussie invasion. Tristan landed on America's teeming shores and became a top daytime drama star on a #1 show, playing Police Commissioner Robert Scorpio on General Hospital. Tristan had turned his back on a successful career down under. First, he was a top model and then became an actor to explore Hollywood's unknown territories. His friends thought he'd spent too much time in the Melbourne sun.
Everybody thought I was crazy. I mean, I didn't get one word of encouragement from anybody. It was, you'll be back. You're never going to make it. You're going to fall flat on your face. You'll fail miserably and you'll be back here. I mean, this is typical Australian attitude towards things when you start. When you start to sort of break away from the norm, I mean, everyone just wants to stick it to you.
Challenges are nothing new to Tristan. He first kicked open the door to his acting career in Australia, armed with that same carefree bravado.
I'd been doing a bit of modeling, and that was kind of easy, and made a few commercials, and they were easy and fun. I thought, well, you know, why not we do a bit of acting? That's got to be fun. It certainly paid a lot better. That was it. That was the motivation. I walked into the only production office in Melbourne, and I said, look, I'd kind of like to act. Can you give me a job? I mean, I didn't know. And they said, okay, and they gave me this pile of coffee-stained test strips, and I went away and learned to, came back, auditioned in the lobby, and they said, okay, you can start work tomorrow, go down to the casting office and get a script, and then report to wardrobe and get a fitting for a uniform, and then get your location details, and that was it. I started as a walk-on.
Within months, he went from walk-on to win a successful acting career. Then in 1978, he decided to head for Hollywood. His friends' warnings were ringing in his ears, but he had fierce determination in his heart.
I didn't give a damn what they said. I mean, it wasn't important. It was, I mean, I wanted to come, and that was it. I mean, I had no idea what was going to happen when I got here. But even if there'd been words of encouragement, it wouldn't have made me feel any better. I mean, I was excited by the prospect of this whole new adventure opening up. That's the part of it that really got me in.
His lust for adventure first cast him as a construction laborer on Los Angeles building sites before he could even land modeling work. Then it was a year-long search before finding an agent.
When I finally got an agent, it was a commercial agent. And I went out on a couple of auditions, and really the reception was pretty lukewarm. And I had to seriously think about that at the time, I mean, whether it was going to work, whether I wanted to change myself into an American, which I didn't really want to do, and whether the whole adventure was really going to work or not.
But it was a show he'd never heard of, General Hospital, that changed his life forever. He was called in with dozens of other hopefuls for a role he had had a slight premonition about.
One of the first times in my career that I knew I had the role, but of course no one was going to tell me. The following Monday, I was at an audition for some print job. The usual cattle call, you know. And there must have been hundreds there, and the photographer was, and the client were really obnoxious. You know, really treating everybody like dirt. So anyway, I get this phone call. Someone says, is there a Tristan Rogers here? And I said, yes. There's a phone call for you. I think it's called, informing me that I had the job. Well, I put down the phone, gave a splendid gesture, and walked out of the room.
He had no idea that those 2 days of work would be spun into the character of Robert Scorpio. It made Tristan Rogers the first Aussie superstar in the history of daytime television.
The timing was perfect. This is one of those instances of being in the right place at the right time.
For 5 years, he played opposite superstars like Elizabeth Taylor. He broke ratings records battling with Tony Geary and romancing Emma Sands. But at the peak of his popularity, Tristan quit to reflect on his meteoric rise to stardom.
I was fried. 5 years had done me in. I was scrambling to keep the interest, to give the character energy, and I figured it's time to get out of it.
After 8 months' rest, he was persuaded to return to the show. It put him back on top of the world.
I learned a lot. all of the bad experiences I learnt from. I think that's the important part. I have no regrets about where I've been, where I'm at, and hopefully where I'm going.
On our next edition, Tristan Rogers breaks the news that he's setting sail for a possible singing career. Please join us.
Adventure is in the front seat for Australian swashbuckler Tristan Rogers, who knows how to belt it out.